Ethan had seen many planets before, but none like this. From the moment his shuttle entered the atmosphere, a strange sense of both fear and curiosity filled him. The skies above glowed with swirling colors he had never seen, purples mixing with deep blues and streaks of golden light. The sensors on his wrist beeped constantly, reading energy levels far beyond anything recorded in human databases. Yet, despite the danger, Ethan felt drawn to the planet as if it was calling him. The surface was uneven and jagged, dotted with crystal formations that shimmered in the shifting light. Strange plants, translucent and tall, swayed in the invisible wind. Every step Ethan took on the rocky terrain echoed in the silent world, and he felt an unusual hum under his feet, like the planet itself was alive. His mission was clear: investigate the energy anomaly, collect data, and return home. But something inside told him this mission would be unlike any other. Hours passed as Ethan explored the strange landscape. He avoided the glowing crystal forest and the deep fissures that seemed bottomless. Suddenly, a pulse of energy surged through the ground beneath him. His boots slid on a slick surface as he barely kept his balance. The readings on his wrist went wild and the air around him felt charged. Then he saw it, a figure moving through the energy shimmer. The being was humanoid, tall and graceful, but not human. Its skin had a faint glow and its eyes reflected the swirling sky. Ethan froze, unsure if he should run or stay. The figure raised a hand and a soft melodic voice echoed in his mind. "Do not be afraid. I mean no harm." Ethan's heart raced. The voice was not spoken aloud. It was inside his head, clear and calm. He hesitated, then spoke, his voice trembling slightly. I'm Ethan. I came to study this planet." The figure smiled faintly. "Then you have come to the right place. I'm Leora. I study life and potential. You are unusual, human. Strong, adaptive, curious. These traits brought you here." Ethan's mind spun. The being knew things about him he had never told anyone. How do you know that?" he asked. "I can sense it," Leora replied simply. Her gaze seemed to pierce through him, understanding him in a way no human ever had. "Come with me. There is something you must see." "Trust me," Ethan hesitated. Every instinct told him to be cautious, yet something in her voice felt honest. There was no threat, only an invitation. "Trust me. Just come in," she said again, this time gesturing toward a faint glowing path that led into a crystal forest. The forest seemed alive. As Ethan stepped forward, the crystals pulsed gently, lighting a path like lanterns in the dark. The ground beneath his boots vibrated softly, in rhythm with the hum that had started when he landed. He realized the energy readings were strongest here. With every step, a strange warmth spread through his body, almost like the planet itself was welcoming him. Finally, they reached a structure at the center of the forest. It was unlike any building Ethan had ever seen. It rose from the ground without walls or doors, a twisting spiral of glowing metal and crystal. The air around it shimmered, distorting the light and colors. It seemed to breathe. Leora paused at the edge. "This is where the true study begins," she said. "Step inside and you will see what humans are capable of, and perhaps more." Ethan's heart pounded. His rational mind screamed to be careful, but curiosity was stronger. He nodded and followed her into the structure. Inside, the air felt different, thicker, warmer, as if it had a heartbeat. The walls were translucent, filled with shifting colors that reacted to his presence. Strange symbols moved across the surface, forming patterns he could almost understand. Leora stepped forward, placing her hand on a circular platform in the center of the room. "This chamber can enhance life," she explained. "It is designed to bring out the potential hidden in those who enter. Humans are limited, but you are capable of more." Ethan swallowed. "More? How? What do you mean?" Leora turned to him, her eyes bright and calm. "You will see. But first you must allow the process. It will feel strange at first. You may struggle. You may doubt yourself. But trust me." Ethan hesitated again. The thought of undergoing an unknown process on an alien planet was terrifying. Yet he felt a strange pull, a promise in Leora's voice that he could not ignore. He nodded. "Very well," he said. Leora placed her hands near his shoulders. A soft light flowed from her palms, surrounding him. Ethan felt warmth spread through his body, like sunlight reaching deep into his bones. At first it was pleasant, almost soothing. Then it became overwhelming. His senses sharpened suddenly. He could hear distant movements in the forest outside, the subtle flow of energy through the walls, the faintest vibrations of the planet itself. He stumbled, overwhelmed. Colors became brighter, sounds louder, and his thoughts raced faster than he could control. Leora's voice guided him. Breathe. Let it flow through you. You are capable of more than you know. Focus. Ethan concentrated. Slowly, the flood of sensations became manageable. He realized he could process the energy around him. He could see patterns in the shifting walls, hear rhythms in the hum beneath the floor. Every step he took inside the chamber felt instinctive, as if the structure itself was teaching him. Hours, or perhaps minutes, he couldn't tell, passed. Ethan learned to control the surge of power within him. His reflexes sharpened, his mind processed information in ways he had never imagined. He realized he could anticipate the movement of objects before they happened, understand complex systems instinctively, and sense energy flows across the room. Leora watched silently, her expression calm and approving. You are adapting well, she said. This is only the beginning. What you will become will surpass anything humans have known, but you must trust and you must continue learning. Ethan nodded, his excitement building. The fear he had felt at first was replaced by a sense of purpose. He was no longer just an explorer. He was something more, something that bridged humanity and the potential the Seraphine offered. Suddenly, a low rumble shook the chamber. The crystals outside flared, and the air shimmered violently. Ethan stumbled but caught himself. Leora's eyes widened. The planet is reacting to your presence, she said urgently. The energy you carry. It is connected to the planet itself. We must stabilize it before it overwhelms us. Ethan felt a surge of determination. His new senses allowed him to understand the flow of energy, the patterns and the fluctuations. He stepped forward, feeling the currents as if they were part of his own body. He placed his hands on the platform. The energy responded instantly, bending to his control. Trust yourself, Leora said. You can do this. Ethan closed his eyes and let the energy flow through him. Slowly, he began to harmonize with the planet's rhythm. The rumbling slowed, the lights softened, and the crystals outside returned to their gentle glow. He opened his eyes and saw that the chamber pulsed in harmony with him. Leora smiled, a rare warmth in her expression. You have done well, Ethan. You are more than human now. But this is only the start. There is much for you to learn, and many challenges ahead. Ethan felt a mix of awe and excitement. He had come seeking data and knowledge, but he had found something far greater. He was on a path that would change him forever, and he could feel the weight of responsibility that came with it. The planet was alive, the Seraphine were watching, and he was no longer just an observer. He was part of something much larger. As he stepped out of the chamber, the alien sky above seemed brighter, more vibrant. Ethan looked at Leora. Thank you for trusting me, he said quietly. She nodded. And thank you for trusting yourself. This is the first step. Come, there is more to see, more to understand. The planet and its secrets await you. Ethan followed her deeper into the forest, feeling more alive than ever. He had crossed the threshold into something extraordinary. He did not yet know what the future held, but he knew one thing. He was no longer just human. He was something more, and the adventure had only just begun. Ethan followed Leora deeper into the forest, his senses still buzzing from the transformation in the chamber. Every step felt different now. He could sense the energy flowing through the ground, the subtle vibrations of the plants, even the faint pulse of the distant crystals. It was as if the entire planet was alive and speaking to him in a language he could almost understand. This place, Ethan began, but he could hardly find words. It's incredible. I've never felt anything like this before. Leora smiled, her glowing eyes reflecting the shifting light of the forest. Few humans ever reach this level of awareness. Most cannot control the energy, let alone feel it. You, however, are different. You are learning quickly. Ethan glanced around, noticing the beauty and danger of the forest at the same time. Tall crystal formations reached into the sky, their surfaces reflecting light in mesmerizing patterns. Strange creatures flitted between them, creatures he could now sense before he saw them. Small translucent beings moved with grace, almost as if they were dancing with the energy around them. Are they dangerous? He asked. Leora shook her head. Not unless you threaten them. The creatures here respond to energy, and they can sense fear, aggression, or calmness. You will learn to harmonize with life here, but it will take practice. Ethan nodded, trying to absorb everything. The chamber had given him incredible abilities, but he still felt unsure how far they could go. "What exactly is this place?" he asked. "Why does it have so much energy?" Leora paused. "This planet is a nexus of life and energy. It sustains itself, but it also tests those who arrive. The energy here can enhance or destroy, depending on the person. You have passed the first test by entering the chamber and allowing yourself to adapt. But there is more, much more." As they walked, Leora guided Ethan toward a large plateau overlooking a valley filled with glowing structures. At first, Ethan thought they were natural formations, but as they approached, he realized they were buildings. Alien constructions that seemed alive. They pulsed with light and energy, almost as if breathing. "This is the city of the Seraphine," Leora explained. "It has stood here for thousands of cycles, maintained by the energy of the planet. Few outsiders are allowed to enter. Humans even less so, but you are no longer just human. You may enter and learn." Ethan felt a mixture of awe and nervousness. Humans had never interacted directly with the Seraphine. Entire expeditions had vanished on previous missions. Now he was being invited not only to observe, but to participate. As they approached the city gates, a series of energy barriers rose to greet them. The barriers shimmered with colors that seemed to respond to Ethan's presence. Leora stopped, her gaze focused on him. "The barriers respond to energy signatures," she said. "Your energy is different now. You must project confidence and calmness or you will be rejected." Ethan concentrated, taking a deep breath. He felt the energy flowing through him, steadying his mind and body. Slowly the barriers parted, allowing them to pass. Inside, the city was more beautiful than he could have imagined. Structures twisted and flowed like liquid light, streets of energy connecting buildings in intricate patterns. Seraphine beings moved through the city gracefully, their forms glowing softly. Ethan noticed that some of the Seraphine paused to look at him. Their expressions were curious, some even wary. He realized that despite his transformation, he was still an outsider. Leora noticed his hesitation. "Do not be afraid. You are learning, yes, but you must also earn their respect. Observe and understand. Learn their ways." Ethan nodded. He followed her through the city, noticing how the Seraphine interacted with the environment. They did not touch the buildings or the ground in a normal way. Instead, they seemed to communicate through energy, moving their hands in subtle gestures that made the structures respond. Ethan tried to imitate them and, to his surprise, found that the energy within him reacted. A small door opened, a pathway lit before him. He realized that the chamber had not only enhanced his senses, but had given him the ability to interact with this alien technology. "This is incredible," Ethan whispered. I can control it." "Somehow," Leora nodded. "You can, but control is not enough. You must understand it, respect it, or it will overwhelm you." As they walked, a loud vibration suddenly shook the city. Buildings pulsed and the streets of energy flickered. Seraphine beings paused and communicated through energy waves that Ethan could now sense as faint emotions and warnings. "What's happening?" he asked, alarmed. "The planet is reacting to an imbalance in energy," Leora explained. "The storm is coming. You will need to help stabilize the flow, but first you must learn more." They entered a large chamber at the heart of the city. It was filled with floating platforms, glowing conduits, and energy nodes that pulsed with life. Leora gestured for Ethan to step forward. "This is the training chamber," she said. "Here you will learn to harmonize with the planet's energy. It will not be easy. The energy is unpredictable and mistakes can be painful. But you are ready, Ethan. Your abilities are growing and your mind is open." Ethan took a deep breath and stepped onto a platform. Immediately, he felt the energy of the chamber surge through him. The platforms responded to his movements, shifting and spinning with a mind of their own. The conduits pulsed faster, reacting to his focus and intent. At first, he stumbled, nearly losing balance. Leora reached out, steadying him with a wave of her hand. "Focus, Ethan. Let the energy flow through you, not against you." Ethan closed his eyes and allowed himself to feel the currents. He could sense the energy moving around him, up through his feet, into his legs, and spreading throughout his body. Slowly, he began to control the platforms, moving them with his thoughts and gestures. The chamber pulsed in harmony with him. Hours passed. Ethan practiced, learning to merge his human intuition with the alien energy. He realized he could sense the smallest fluctuations in the conduits and anticipate the chamber's movements before they happened. The initial fear he had felt was replaced by exhilaration. He was becoming more than he had ever imagined. Leora watched quietly, her expression a mixture of pride and caution. You are learning quickly. But remember, Ethan, these abilities are a responsibility. They are powerful, yes, but power without understanding can destroy more than it creates. You must respect the balance of life here. Ethan nodded. I understand. I feel it. The planet, the energy, everything is connected. Exactly, Leora said. You are not just a visitor anymore. You are part of this world now, in a way no human has ever been, but your journey has only begun. There are challenges ahead, tests of strength, intellect, and courage. You will face choices that may determine not only your future but the future of this planet as well. Just as she finished speaking, the chamber shuddered violently. Lights flickered and a low hum turned into a deep roar. Ethan stumbled but caught himself, sensing the energy surge through him. Outside, the sky darkened and streaks of lightning-like energy shot across the horizon. The storm, Leora said, her voice urgent. It has begun. You must stabilize it before it overwhelms the city. But first you must trust yourself completely. Only then will you be able to control the energy. Ethan took a deep breath and closed his eyes. He could feel the flow of energy from the planet to the city, from the city to the chamber, and now into himself. Every node, every conduit, every pulse was connected, and he was part of that connection. Slowly, he projected his calm and focus outward. The platforms in the chamber responded, moving in perfect synchronization. The conduits glowed steadily and the hum softened. Leora smiled faintly. You are ready. The storm will test you, but you are ready. Ethan opened his eyes. For the first time, he truly felt the balance of the planet, the flow of energy, and the harmony of life around him. He was no longer just a human observer. He was part of something greater, something alive and powerful. And as the storm raged outside, he knew he would face it not as a visitor, but as a being capable of incredible things. He glanced at Leora. I'm ready, he said firmly. She nodded, placing a hand briefly on his shoulder. Then let us face the storm together, Ethan. Your journey has truly begun. With that, they stepped toward the city gates, where the storm loomed larger than ever. Ethan's enhanced senses allowed him to anticipate the first strikes of the energy storm. The world around him moved in slow, deliberate patterns. He felt alive in a way he never had before. And deep inside, he knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, he would face them with courage, skill, and the newfound strength that had made him more than human. Above the Seraphine city, the sky twisted into spirals of glowing light. Waves of energy rolled across the horizon, shaking the ground beneath Ethan's boots. What looked beautiful from afar now roared like a living creature, wild and unstoppable. Ethan and Leora stood at the edge of the great energy bridge that led into the city's heart. Lightning-like arcs of pure energy flashed through the clouds, striking the towers. The alien structures absorbed the strikes, glowing brighter each time. But Ethan could sense the strain. The city was reaching its limit. The planet's energy is unstable, Leora said, her calm voice breaking slightly for the first time. If we don't balance it, the entire city will collapse. The storm feeds on imbalance, Ethan's heart pounded. His enhanced senses let him feel the energy currents beneath the ground and within the air. It wasn't just weather. It was the planet itself trying to restore order. But something was wrong. The flow of power wasn't smooth. It was torn, scattered, and unpredictable. What do I need to do? Ethan asked, gripping the side of the glowing bridge as it pulsed beneath his hand. You must find the central node, Leora replied. It lies beneath the city. It regulates the flow of energy between the planet and the Seraphine structures. If it falls out of sync, everything here will break apart. Ethan nodded. Then take me there. Leora hesitated. It won't be easy. The path is dangerous, and some of my people do not agree with your presence here. Ethan frowned. You mean they don't trust humans? Many still remember what happened the last time outsiders came, she said quietly. They took our technology and left destruction behind. You must prove you are different, Ethan. Ethan clenched his jaw. Then I'll show them. Let's go. They raced through the streets as energy pulses struck nearby towers. Seraphine citizens moved swiftly, guiding energy flows with gestures and focused minds. Ethan could feel their suspicion. Some stared at him with doubt, while others stepped back in fear. He wasn't one of them, not truly, but he could sense what they felt. Fear of loss, fear of change. At the base of the central spire, two tall Seraphine guards blocked their way. Their glowing armor shimmered like liquid silver. Stop, One of them said, his tone sharp. The human cannot enter the node chamber. He is not a threat, Leora said firmly. He can help. The energy within him is linked to the planet's rhythm. He is dangerous, the guard replied. Humans cannot control our energy. If he enters, he might destroy what remains of balance. Ethan stepped forward. If I don't go in, you might lose everything. I can feel it. The storm's rhythm is connected to me somehow. Let me try. The guards looked at him in silence. Energy flashed again above them, shaking the ground. Finally, one guard lowered his weapon. If he fails, he said coldly, it will be on you, Leora. Leora nodded, then turned to Ethan. Come, we must hurry. They entered the spire. Inside, the air was thick with energy. The walls pulsed like the inside of a living being. The deeper they went, the warmer it became, and Ethan could feel the energy vibrating through every part of his body. The central node chamber awaited them, a massive sphere of glowing threads suspended in mid-air. Ethan stared in awe. It's alive. Yes, Leora said. It is the heart of the city. But it's weakening. You must connect with it and restore harmony. Ethan approached cautiously. The energy inside the sphere flickered, forming patterns that almost resembled thoughts or emotions. When he placed his hand near it, the threads of light reached toward him like curious living strands. The connection was instant. His vision blurred as images filled his mind, cities being built, Seraphine walking among glowing rivers, and the first storms forming from imbalance. He saw the planet's history in flashes as if the world itself was speaking to him. Leora's voice echoed faintly. You must guide it, Ethan. Focus your energy, calm the chaos. Ethan tried to focus. He felt the power of the planet rush through him again. Wild, fierce, endless. It was too much. His knees buckled. It's too strong. Do not fight it, Leora said. Breathe with it. He closed his eyes, steadying his breath. Slowly, he stopped resisting the current and began to flow with it. The chaos around him softened. The flickering light of the node began to pulse steadily, matching the rhythm of his heartbeat. The images in his mind changed. Fields of calm energy, balance returning, harmony spreading across the planet. But just as he began to stabilize it, a sharp disturbance cut through the connection. A voice shouted behind him, Enough! Ethan turned to see a group of Seraphine entering the chamber, led by a tall figure in dark armor. His energy was intense, darker than the others. Leora, the newcomer said coldly, you bring an unstable outsider into our sacred core? Have you lost your mind? Leora faced him calmly. Arian, this is not the time for arguments. The storm will destroy everything if we do not act. Arian's eyes glowed fiercely. You think a human can fix what he does not understand? You risk all of us for an experiment. Ethan stepped forward. I can help. I already stabilized part of the flow. The node responds to me. You are a danger, Arian snapped. You do not belong here. Before Leora could reply, another surge of energy shook the chamber. The walls trembled, and the threads of light twisted violently. Ethan staggered but held his ground. Listen to me, he shouted. We don't have time for this. The planet is losing balance. If we don't work together, you'll lose everything. Arian glared, but the truth in Ethan's voice and the tremor of the ground made him hesitate. Finally, he gave a single nod. Very well. But if you fail, human, I will end this myself. Ethan turned back to the node. His hands trembled as he reached out again. The energy pulled him in, but this time he embraced it completely. The storm above intensified, sending waves of power into the city. Ethan felt them all, like the heartbeat of a living giant. He became the link between the planet and the Seraphine technology. Leora guided him with calm precision. You must balance the upper flow. The lightning strikes are overcharging the conduits. Use your senses. Feel where it is unstable. Ethan nodded, closing his eyes again. He felt the paths of energy as glowing lines in his mind. Some were bright and strong, others weak and flickering. He reached for them with his will, connecting and realigning them. The node's light grew steadier. Outside, the storm began to change. The chaotic flashes became rhythmic. The thunder softened into deep vibrations. Arian stared in disbelief. He's doing it. The human is actually doing it. Leora smiled faintly. He is more than human now. Ethan concentrated harder, channeling the last of his strength. His entire body glowed with a soft blue light as the node pulsed in perfect harmony. Finally, the great sphere emitted a single blinding flash. Then silence. The storm above broke apart. The clouds faded. The air cleared, and the city lights returned to normal. The ground stopped trembling. Ethan collapsed to his knees, exhausted but alive. His chest rose and fell rapidly as he tried to catch his breath. Leora hurried to his side, placing a steadying hand on his shoulder. "You did it," she said softly. "You brought balance back." Ethan looked up, his face pale but his eyes shining with determination. "I didn't do it alone. The planet helped me. It wanted balance too." Arian approached, his expression unreadable. "You risked everything," he said slowly. "But you saved us, perhaps there is more to your kind than I believed." Ethan managed a tired smile. "Guess humans aren't as fragile as you thought." Arian gave a short nod and turned away. "We will speak again, human. There are things you must still understand." As the others left, Leora helped Ethan stand. "You did more than stabilize the energy," she said. "You connected with the planet's consciousness. It recognized you. That has never happened before. You have become part of this world now." Ethan gazed at the glowing node still humming softly in the center of the chamber. "Part of it," he repeated quietly. "But I can feel something else too. The storm might be gone, but the balance is fragile." "This world isn't safe yet," Leora nodded. "You are right. There are deeper forces at work. Forces that even I do not fully understand. But for now you should rest. You have done more today than any human ever has." As they stepped out of the spire, the alien sky glowed with a calm, gentle light. The Seraphine city shimmered with peace once again. The citizens watched Ethan with a mixture of curiosity and newfound respect. For the first time, he didn't feel like an outsider. He felt like a bridge between two species, two worlds. The journey had changed him, but he knew it wasn't over yet. Somewhere deep within the planet, something ancient stirred. And as Ethan looked out across the glowing valley, he knew that the next test would come soon, one that would decide not just his fate, but the future of both human and Seraphine kind. The night after the storm, the city glowed softly under the twin moons of the planet. Ethan stood at the edge of the central plaza, looking at the buildings that shimmered like living light. The citizens moved gracefully, their energy flowing smoothly through the structures. The storm had passed, but he knew the planet's energy was still fragile, and the balance could shift again at any moment. Leora appeared beside him, her presence calm and steady. "The city is safe for now," she said. "You did what no human ever has, but your journey is far from over." Ethan turned to her, exhaustion etched on his face. "I thought the hardest part was surviving the storm. But I realize now, it was only the beginning. I can feel the energy. It's alive, constantly moving. I don't know if I can control it forever." Leora smiled faintly. "Control is not the goal, Ethan. Understanding is. You are not here to dominate the planet, but to harmonize with it. That is what makes you more than human." Ethan nodded. He could feel the truth in her words. The energy didn't obey commands, it responded to intent, focus, and empathy. The human mind alone could not master it. Only one who understood balance and responsibility could. A sudden vibration pulsed through the plaza. Ethan instinctively raised his hands. Energy arcs raced across the buildings, and he felt the familiar pull, the planet's rhythm calling to him. "It's reacting again," he said, tension tightening his shoulders. "Something is coming." Leora nodded. "Yes, you have connected with the planet, but there are forces that even I cannot predict. You must be ready." The ground beneath them shifted slightly, revealing a glowing pathway leading beneath the city. Ethan recognized it as the route to the deepest energy core, the origin of the planet's power. He glanced at Leora. "I need to go," he said. "I have to see it, feel it, understand it completely." She hesitated, her glowing eyes reflecting concern. "It is dangerous. Few have ever reached the core and returned unchanged." "Are you certain?" Ethan's jaw set. "I have to try. I can feel it calling. This is part of why I'm here." With that, they descended. The pathway twisted and turned, walls pulsating with life as energy threads passed overhead and underfoot. Ethan's senses were heightened more than ever. He could feel the flow of every conduit, the pulse of every crystal, and the rhythm of every living being in the city above. It was overwhelming, but exhilarating. Finally, they reached a chamber unlike any other. A massive sphere hovered in the center, radiating pure energy. The walls were transparent, revealing flowing currents that connected the sphere to the planet itself. Ethan's breath caught in his throat. This is the core, Leora said softly. It is the heart of the planet. It gives life to the city, the energy, and even to you now. But it is also fragile. You must approach carefully. Ethan stepped forward. His hands hovered over the sphere. Energy rippled across his skin as the core sensed his presence. A voice, not spoken but felt, echoed in his mind. You have come far, human. You are more than you were. But are you ready to become what you were meant to be? Ethan's heart pounded. He could feel the entire planet pulsing through him. Every rhythm, every current, every spark of life connected to him now. I think so, he whispered. I want to help. I want to understand, the sphere responded. Threads of energy reached out, intertwining with his own. At first it was chaotic, overwhelming. Images of the planet's history, its storms, and its civilizations flashed in his mind. He felt its pain, its joy, its fear, and its hope. For a moment he wanted to pull back, but then he remembered Leora's words. Flow with it, she said. Do not resist. Become part of it. Ethan closed his eyes. He let the energy wash over him, not fighting, not trying to control. Slowly a harmony began to form. His thoughts, his heartbeat, and his senses merged with the planet's rhythm. He felt strength unlike any human strength, power that was balanced, focused, and full of understanding. The chamber glowed brighter as Ethan's form was illuminated by the merging energy. Leora watched silently, knowing that this moment would change everything. Outside the chamber, the city held its breath. Citizens paused, sensing the shift in energy. The buildings glowed steadily, more alive than before, as if the planet itself had accepted its new guardian. Inside, Ethan opened his eyes. He felt different, more aware, more capable, more connected. He could sense every thread of life and energy in the planet. He understood its rhythms, its needs, and its potential. He was no longer just human. He was a bridge between two worlds, capable of guiding, protecting, and harmonizing with both. Leora stepped forward. You have done it, Ethan. You are more than human, just as I said. The planet has recognized you, and you have embraced your potential fully. Ethan looked at her, a mix of awe and humility in his eyes. I feel it. I can sense everything. It's beautiful. I never imagined something like this was possible. She nodded. And now you have a choice. You can return to your people, sharing your knowledge, or you can stay here, protecting this world, guiding it, and growing even further. Ethan thought for a moment. He knew Earth and humanity would always be a part of him. But he also understood that this planet, this energy, and the Seraphine had changed him forever. I will stay, he said finally. I want to protect this place. I want to learn and help it grow. Leora smiled, a rare warmth lighting her glowing eyes. Then you are ready. The planet has given you more than strength. It has given you purpose. The chamber pulsed in response, and Ethan felt a final surge of energy flow through him. His senses were sharper, his mind clearer, and his heart stronger. He could feel life everywhere, the city, the planet, even the distant stars. He was part of something greater now. As they left the chamber, the city around them shimmered with renewed vitality. The Seraphine citizens looked at Ethan differently now, not with fear or suspicion, but with respect and admiration. Some approached cautiously, reaching out to touch the air near him, feeling the energy he carried. Arian, who had once doubted him, stepped forward. You have changed everything, he said. Humans. Perhaps there is hope in your kind after all. Ethan smiled. Hope isn't just in humans. It's in all of us. If we work together, we can achieve more than we ever imagined. Leora guided Ethan to the top of the tallest tower. From there he could see the entire city, glowing and alive under the twin moons. The storm was gone, replaced by calm energy that pulsed in perfect harmony with the planet and the structures. Ethan could feel the balance everywhere. He had become the living link between the planet and its inhabitants. You did more than survive, Leora said softly. You became part of this world, and in doing so you became more than human. You are the bridge, the guardian, and the proof that humans can rise beyond what they believe is possible. Ethan gazed out at the glowing horizon. He knew there would be more challenges, more storms, and more tests of courage and wisdom. But he also knew that he was ready. He was no longer just a human explorer. He was a being capable of incredible things, connected to a world that had once seemed impossible. He turned to Leora. Thank you for trusting me, for guiding me, and for showing me that there is more to humans than we often see ourselves capable of. She nodded. And thank you, Ethan, for trusting yourself. That is what made all the difference. The future is open now for both you and this planet. Together, we can achieve what was once unimaginable. As they stood together, looking at the vibrant city and the calm energy of the planet, Ethan felt a deep sense of peace. He had crossed the threshold from human to something more, something greater, and though his journey had begun with curiosity and courage, it had led him to a place of understanding, purpose, and connection. For the first time in his life, he truly felt whole, not just human, but part of a greater existence more than human, and ready for whatever the universe would bring next. The planet hummed softly beneath his feet, a melody of life, energy, and endless potential, and Ethan knew he had found his place in it.